Alrighty, Joey here from Antic Button Gaming, trying out a new phone stand, so I'm getting better on the production quality. As the title suggests, today we're going to be talking about the upcoming Warhammer show, being produced by Henry Cavill, right, and Amazon Studios. So, a lot of talk on there about how the show should and needs to be done, right? So that's interesting. I'm also going to apologize for the lighting. I don't have, you always see them like those like fancy, like fold-up lights or whatever. I'll probably end up getting one of those. And also a better phone stand. This one's kind of, not fantastic, but we're working with what we got. So, back onto the main topic. We have Henry Cavill producing the show. A lot of talk about what people want to see. I know Band of Brothers meets Warhammer was talked about. Honestly, I actually like to see that one. I don't think they're going to do that one right off the gate. A lot of people are like, well, everybody wants to see Space Marines, so let's just do Horus Heresy. That one I also don't see them doing for a few reasons we'll get into a bit later. Let's talk about what I would personally want to see. And what I would personally want to see is a sort of Game of Thrones style setting set on, like, I don't know, either like a hive world or a feudal world, right? For those who don't know, hive worlds are cities built on top of cities on top of cities, and they stretch all the way up in the sky, right? Super cool, tons of, like, you know, upper super mega elites feuding with pretty much everybody, to be frank. So, very easy to set a story in that type of setting. And I like, you know, to have all these, like, really nuanced, well-written characters, and, you know, like, all sorts of intriguing plot threads, and then, like, towards the end, I just want Marnius Kelgar to show up with his power fist and just start beating everybody to death, right? Just punch all the nuance right out of the show, because that's what's going to happen, right? Because there's no way in hell Warhammer, you know, makes a show without, you know, the Space Marines. Like, I want there to be a character named Nuance, and I want him to get physically punched to death by Kelgar, right? Because you'd have to be high to believe that they aren't going to have Space Marines on the show, right? And as much as I would actually like to see a show with, like, nuance and well-written, it's more important for them to get a show with Space Marines out, to be frank. Like, everybody says, oh, why don't they do Horus Heresy then, right? Okay, the reason they aren't going to do Horus Heresy is because it's at in the year 30,000, not the year, or technically Horus Heresy was like, what, 33,000? Anyway, it's set 10,000 years prior to the main setting. The main setting's 40k, right? What makes Games Workshop money? 40k. What makes Games Workshop the most money? Space Marines, right? You don't, let's say we do Band of Brothers Guardsmen. That sounds like a super fun, interesting show. No Space Marines. And if they cameo Space Marines, then you aren't actually getting Space Marines, right? Look at the success of Space Marine 2. I know that's a video game, and different forms of media will have different stuff, but the point still is that Space Marines sell really well, and man, did Space Marine 2 sell really well, and now we have everybody talking about it, and there's all these YouTube videos, and everybody knows what Space Marine 2 is. So, by getting Space Marine 2 out, you know, it's done a lot of goodwill for the franchise. More people are joining than ever, more people are interested in the books, right? How do we get even more people? TV show. TV is more universal than video games. It is. Like, people still have a stigma towards video games, which is fine, who cares, I don't give a shit, but statistically, video games are still niche, even though they're like $1 billion industry, like, which is hilarious to think about. Even more niche is, our plastic models, which I can actually show off now. I probably should have. Give me 1 second. Oh, sneak peek at my room. Yeah, so the stand definitely does need to improve. There. Kelgar. Yeah, probably should have had that teed up. But we're learning, so. Yeah, Marnius Kelgar should just show up and just, punch all these well-written characters to death because they don't have an invulnerable saving throw. Yeah, but, like, this is the face of Warhammer. Like, this guy right here, Kelgar, he's the face of Warhammer, him and his Space Marines, and if you don't like that, well, I got some real bad news for you. That's just how it is, and, right? So they make the money. So the first series has to be these guys. Then we get Band of Brothers. Then we get the prequel, the Horus Heresy. Then we get the... Honestly, I'd like to see like a sort of more low-budget horror story, maybe set in like an abandoned spaceship. Like, just rip off Aliens with Gene Stealers is what I'm trying to say, right? Or you could rip off Aliens with like warp shenanigans. Or you could just rip off, what was the one where they opened up hell in the space station? Event Horizon. Admittedly, Event Horizon was kind of just ripping off 40K, but, like, do it back, right? Admittedly, 40K rips off everybody, so it's only fair. But we get this, right? Or Titus. I don't have Titus painted up, so I'm not going to show him off, but, you know, yeah, do Titus, right? Like, Titus is super hot right now, right? Or any of the second company. Well, the Star Ultramarines probably. They'll probably want to sneak another chapter in. Their salamanders are pretty over right now. Probably won't do Imperial Fist. Imperial Fist suck. Admittedly, Imperial Fist will actually do really well in the 30K series, so they should probably be the main focus of the 30K series if they do one. The other problem with doing Warhammer 30,000, already starting to see some flaws with the stand here, is it keeps trying to fall over and die. I have this balance on my bed. When I bought it, I thought it'd be longer. It's only like this, and it's like, so hands-free, awesome. It keeps trying to tilt over. That's not so awesome. I'll see if I can't wheel up a desk next to my bed next time, and we'll figure it out from there. But the other problem with 30K is, like, have you seen how many books? It's like a 50-plus book series. I could see them doing it, like, in 3 really big movies. That's a possibility. I don't see them doing it in 50-plus TV series. You know, it's like we need to adapt every book into a TV series. Like, dear God. We'll be having Horus Heresy content till, like, Earth spins off its axis and kills us all. Which is the second problem with Horus Heresy, so I don't see, like, they can have shows sad during the Horus Heresy, but, like, trying to encapsulate all of it, it's just too much, you know? It's not unadaptable, it's just, you just have to take the hard pill if they can't adapt all of it, right? And I think that's the second, there is so much 40K content already in there, right? I mean, like, if we had to count off every book starring the Ultramarines, we'd be here all day, right? Like, there's just too much, right? And so they're going to want a show that's going to be able to onboard people. And, well, how do you onboard people? Well, Amazon probably has their own ideas, and the Games Workshop's going to come in, and they're going to go, no, it has to have Calgar in it. He's the guy, you know, because, like, he's the guy. He's my favorite Space Marine, right? It's a lot of people's favorite Space Marine. And even if it isn't, like, Calgar, it has to have Space Marines. You know, that's what Games Workshop will do. And to be frank, it'll probably be the Ultramarines. You know, that's just how it is, you know. So, Band of Brothers Guardsmen will probably be next. You know, I could definitely see them wanting to have, like, a political drama show set on a hive world, and then, like, low-budget horror, just, yeah, either an Event Horizon sort of situation, or, like, your typical Alien knockoff would work really well in a 40K setting. But they don't get that unless they get this, because Space Marines sell. Everybody likes Space Marines, especially the people who won't shut up about how much they hate Space Marines, right? Like, okay, they show off a 40K trailer. It's Alien in space. You know, it's set on an abandoned Space Hulk. Oh no, we have no choice but to go onto the Space Hulk for some reason. And then, you know, the horrors of the war, or Gene Stealers, or orcs, or whatever you want your villain of the week to be. Because orcs are actually pretty horrifying. I know they're kind of the comic relief, but, like, from a human perspective, orcs are terrifying. But, like, whatever your villain of the week is, and that's what the trailer is. It's like, ooh, it's half the spirit, right? Like, you're gonna get people going, oh, wow, this looks good, right? You know, and some people will go, huh, neat sci-fi alien thing, right? But whereas if you have Drop Pod comes out, and then Calgar, or Sicarius, or Ventress, or hell, I mean, like, if you put Titus on, people are gonna pop. They're gonna be like, oh my god, Titus, and that's the difference. Is it's gonna be like, oh my god, Titus, and then you're gonna have a second, even louder crowd going, boo, Space Marines suck. It should have been something else. Space Marines suck, right? And then everybody's gonna be talking about it. Like, it literally makes itself, right? And then because Space Marines sell, because Space Marines are cool and everybody likes Space Marines, you then get your other shows. So yeah, it's gonna be about Space Marines, and there will probably be like some stupid human characters, and I hope Kelker punches them to death, because it'd be funny. Now it'll probably be like, then Space Marines show up to relieve the Planetary Guard, like they always do. They're just gonna translate. Let's see if I can't grab something without knocking all my stuff down. Wrong book. Got the Dark Imperium trilogy, gonna start reading that, and what I'm currently reading through is Knights of Macragge. I've been reading through this for a while now, because, life, man. But, or not Knights of Macragge, Knights of Talis, sorry. Knights of Macragge is actually in this. It's a tome of, like, a ton of books. But, let me explain to you every Space Marine battle book, which is, it's mostly just Space Marine battle books in here. The Planetary Guard can't hold, much like my, my tripod, the Planetary Guard cannot hold. We need the Space Marines, and the Space Marines descend to their drop pods, because admittedly Scarius has like a hard-on for drop pods. That's his thing. He's like, yeah, I love drop pods, bro. And he launches all the Space Marines on the drop pods, and they run out and they start killing and gunning down orcs or necrons or whatever. You should probably do orcs. Orcs are pretty universal of like, yeah, these guys are shootable. Necrons are good too. Whatever your special effects budget will allow, do that. There's a lot of bad guys you shoot. You shoot Dark Eldar, that's just dudes in makeup. I don't think they're gonna do Dark Eldar. That might be a little, like, Space Marine battle book. You can get like PG-14, like a lot of blood, but like most people are like pretty used to like blood. I don't see you going past that. So, like, yeah, Space Marines show up, they start killing guys, they reinforce the Planetary Guard. That's how you get your human characters in, who are like, oh my god, my angels. And it's like, no, you're just as good. Or you'll have other opinions on Space Marines. You guys suck. You know, and then you get to learn a lot about the Space Marines by comparing them to the humans, and you could have, like, either a really cool governor or a really dickhead governor, depending how you want the story to go. It's really easy, it just writes itself, and then everybody goes, oh wow, the Space Marines are so cool, and then you have, like, the really human moments, and then you have the Space Marines not being able to really interact with those human moments, really showing the disparity between the humans and the Space Marines, and, like, as much as Space Marines are the humanity's greatest defenders, and as much as some would like to have these emotions, they just can't, you know, and that's good. That's good storytelling. It sets up the Space Marines, it sets up humanity, and it sets up how brutal not only the Imperium can be, but also the enemies that the Imperium faces, and it just writes itself. So yeah, it's going to be about the Space Marines. Yeah, it's tough shit.